Well, it's about 100 degrees in New Jersey right now, and that feels pretty damn hot. I know for those of you in Texas and New Orleans and Arizona and other hot places, you're thinking 100 degrees? You don't know hot until it hits 110. I don't know. I don't think I can ever remember it hitting 110 in New Jersey, but I'm telling you, 100 degrees here is hot. And we are not using air conditioning this summer. So last summer we went without air conditioning for most of the summer. But then one day Frugal Daddy kind of caved in and he felt like it was too hot and he couldn't stand it, and he put a few of the window air conditioning units in. Once you have the air conditioning going, there's really no turning back. You just can't reel it back in. We are not using air conditioning this summer. We're just not. We're keeping our electric bill low, low, low. And my theory is that if you go without air conditioning, your body is going to get accustomed to the heat. That's my theory. I think when it's really hot out and you're going from air conditioning inside to super hot outside, back into air conditioning, back and forth, I think it makes it harder for you and your body doesn't adjust to the heat. When I was growing up, we didn't have air conditioning in our home. Air conditioning existed. I'm not that old, but we just didn't have it. We used fans, and we survived just fine. So the question is, how do you survive in relative comfort without air conditioning when it's this hot? Now, if you have plenty of money and you want to spend it on air conditioning, you go ahead. If you have health conditions, if you have asthma, if you are elderly, if you have a pug, you know, those little dogs who can't breathe, there are a lot of reasons you might need to put your air conditioning on, and you go right ahead. But for those of you who don't want to use your air conditioning because you want to save money or you just don't have air conditioning, well, let's talk how to make the summer heat more bearable. So first, as I said, I think your body will somewhat get accustomed to the heat. I'm not feeling accustomed to it right now, I have to say, because it's really freaking hot. But here's what we do. First, keep your windows closed. If the temperature goes down at night, open up your windows and let the cooler air in. But then, in the morning, when the sun is rising and it's starting to heat up again, shut your windows. Trap your cooler air inside, keep the hot air out. We're finding this to actually be very effective. We use fans. We're not completely insane. We do use fans. We have several fans all over the place. Fans, 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 everywhere fans. Love me a good fan. Now let me show you Frugal Daddy's system of drawing cool air up from the basement. Okay, there's the system. You do not have to have a digital clock on top of your system, but Frugal Daddy put that there to show the temperature because it also is a thermometer. So the thermometer is registering 75.9 degrees. That's a whole lot less than the 100 degrees it is outside. Why is it on top of a banana box? That part I don't know. All right, don't look at how dirty and dusty and crappy it looks down there. But we have these registers, I guess they're called, these in-floor grates. I don't know what these are called, but anyway, that's the basement down below there. The basement is cooler. The basement is always cooler because it's underground. So, we put our box there. Interesting system. Then we put a fan on top of the box, blowing up. So it's sucking the cold air up from the basement and bringing it into the room. So when Frugal Daddy came over this morning to check the temperature here, it was about 85, somewhere between 85 and 90 degrees early this morning. And he put the fan on and very quickly the temperature dropped. That's one way we're able to keep the house a little bit cooler. We are bringing the cold air up from the basement. All right, if you don't have those grate thingies in the floor, you can also open your door to the basement, where apparently you're playing basketball, and you can just put a You can put a fan in your basement doorway to bring the cold air up from below. Also, super duper important to stay hydrated when it's hot. Well, all year long. It's always important to stay hydrated, but especially when it's hot. On these hot days, you definitely don't want to cook. And if you do have to cook, do it really early in the morning before it's gotten super duper hot out. It's early in the morning and I'm boiling water because I'm going to cook up some Suddenly salads that I got free with couponing. I'm going to make some pasta salads so I have cold pasta salad to bring to lunch with me later in the week. You definitely do not want to do any baking on these hot days. If you're going to do any cooking, early in the morning, late at night, out on the grill. Otherwise, just have some cold fruit. Shut the door behind you to keep the relatively cooler air inside. The best way to cool off on a hot summer day is to get in cool water. Luckily, we have our little above ground pool for summer fun, splashing and cooling off. Here we have the Frugal babies enjoying our little above ground pool. Here comes Frugal Daddy joining them for a dip. This is a $400 pool which Daddy got last summer at the end of the season for $110. And the kids are in this all day, every day. This is probably the best $110 we have ever spent. Now, if you don't have a pool, you don't have any of this, you're saying, oh, thanks for the tip, I can't do that. Well, get a little baby kiddie pool if you can. Run through a sprinkler if you can. Or you're just going to sit inside your house with your feet in a big bucket of cold water with a fan blowing on you. Whatever it takes to stay cool. But I think water is the easiest way to cool down. You could take a cold bath, take a cold shower. Same thing in the winter when you're trying to warm up. We keep our house so cold in the winter, so when we're warming up, the best way is to just get in a hot bathtub and warm up. At least warm your feet up that way. I hit my bottom hard on the bottom of the pool. A little ice cream treat to cool off. That was so refreshing. I'm actually a little bit cold now. So also remember, anything electric is going to generate heat. So keep lights off. Turn off all your electric vampires. Make sure you're hanging your laundry outside to dry. Don't be running the dryer. Now, as we all know, heat rises, and we're finding it pretty hot upstairs when it comes to bedtime. So, Frugal Daddy has come up with a pretty good system for camping out on the living room floor with the kids, because you know how hard it is to sleep when it's too hot. So to beat the heat and sleep comfortably without air conditioning, you may need to sleep downstairs instead of upstairs. Frugal Daddy found this mattress thing, brand new in its wrapping, in a dumpster the other day. So this is becoming the perfect comfortable floor bed for sleeping downstairs. It's probably 10 to 15 degrees cooler downstairs than it is upstairs in our house. Now let's talk products that are going to help you feel better when it's really, really hot. I'm not saying sprinkle baby powder everywhere. I'm not saying live in a big cloud of baby powder that you're going to inhale and get emphysema from, but a little bit of baby powder here and there really can help you feel cool. A little bit under the boobs. I like to put baby powder behind my knees. When I go to bed at night, if I feel like it's sticky and sweaty on my legs behind my knees, even if I just got out of a cold bath, it just feels weird and icky to me, and a little bit of baby powder on my legs helps me feel a lot cooler. Now, in terms of the Clinique clarifying lotion, I'm not saying you need to go out to the Macy's makeup department and buy your Clinique clarifying lotion. This will work as well with your rubbing alcohol. Basically, it works with the Clinique because it's got the rubbing alcohol in it, and I just happen to have it, and I have had this bottle, I don't know, I moved into this house 7 years ago, and I brought it with me then. So that's how often I shop for stuff like this. But anyway, if you put a little bit on a cotton ball and rub it on your hot neck or on your face or on your arms or wherever. As it evaporates, just as it will with rubbing alcohol, it really makes you feel cooler. And it also wipes some of the sweat off, which makes you feel a little bit less disgustingly hot. Now, if you're just dying in your unair-conditioned house, you can always escape to somewhere where you can enjoy some air conditioning. Go to the grocery store, wander through the frozen food aisles to cool off. Go to the mall. Don't buy anything at the mall, but just suck in all that free air conditioning. A lot of big indoor malls have seating areas. I refer to them as the husband gardens, where you plant your husband for a while you go shopping. You could just go sit there in the air conditioning, read a book, have a picnic. And speaking of books, go spend the day at your library. Day after day after day if you have to during a heat wave. Enjoy their free air conditioning and read a book. Read some magazines for free. Play on their computers. Use their bathroom. There are plenty of places you can go to enjoy some free air conditioning and have a little outing out and get away from your 100-degree home. Another way to keep your house cooler will mean keeping it dark. With your south-facing windows and your west-facing windows as the sun is setting, you want to pull your curtains or shut your shutters. Yes, it's going to be a little bit dark, but that's really going to help keep the blasting rays of the hot sun from warming up your house. And don't forget your best buddies in the summer heat. Make sure your pets have lots and lots of fresh water. Never, ever, 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 never, ever, this should have been the first thing in the video, never leave your dog in a car in the summer, or your kids. I should maybe have said kids first. But,
or your husband.
Or your husband. Yeah, don't leave anybody in a shut-up car during the summer. It gets so hot in a car so fast.